Back in 2019, I was in year 7. It was my first year of high school ever. And I found out about a week into school that one of the most popular girls in the school had a pretty big crush on me. She had been eyeing me for the last week. I didn't really know her at this point, but you know that feeling when a girl really likes you and you can tell she really likes you, or her friends are saying she likes you, and then you grow an attraction to her even though you didn't have an attraction before that, just because she found you attractive. That happened to me. And about a month into talking with this girl, I developed a massive crush on her, bro. I just cannot stop thinking about her. So it went both ways. But did I end up dating this girl? No. Because at the time in year 7, I wanted to make a specific basketball team, and I had kind of believed that girls were a massive distraction. I could not achieve any of my goals with a girlfriend. So I said to her, I didn't like her. I wasn't attracted to her. I put her in the friend zone. I regretted that a bit later, but we'll get to that. So I had to wait 2 years until I could get with this girl. So I started putting on an act that wasn't really me, but it was to maintain my status at school, to make sure I'm the top dog, because this girl probably wasn't going to settle for any, at the bottom of the social hierarchy kids at school. She was probably going to settle for the top because she was like the most popular girl in school. And I had to keep that status. So I faked a deep voice. I was trying to get in with the Eshe kids, with like the bad boys who were vaping and shit, just because they were at the top and they got the most respect. And it wasn't me at all, bro. I was always that happy kid whose face would go red, always nervous around the girls. But about a month into school, she starts dating one of my friends. And this friend that I'm talking about, I'm still good friends with him to this day. We always were mistaken for each other, right? He was always mistaken for me, I was always mistaken for him. We looked very, very similar. So she started dating this friend of mine. I grew pretty jealous, but it fueled me. I was actually glad it happened because it made me work harder at basketball to become a better player, because I needed to step up my game to date this girl in year 9. So I step up my game, I work harder. Not because I don't like my friend. I love my friend, yeah, always will. But about a month later, they break up. And you'd probably expect me to be pretty happy because my chances are still there. But I was pretty sad because that fuel that was fueling me, because I didn't actually have the chance, now I have the chance, it was gone. I didn't feel that inspiration anymore. It was kind of shit because I put basketball over anything. I still talked to her while this relationship was going on, but I started talking to her a bit more now that she was single. And we're just, we're chatting, sometimes we FaceTime, we do our thing, whatever, 13-year-olds do. And we went into 2020, the conversation kind of dies down a little bit. Not because we aren't friends anymore, we just do our own thing, right? She realizes that I'm not attracted to her even though I am, so she kind of just stops trying at this point, because it's probably pretty painful to have the person you have a crush on as your friend. I get to the end of 2020, I'm not going to go very deep into this, but I try out for that team that I've been working hard at for the last year and a half, or really last 2 years, that I've sacrificed my whole youth for. I didn't date any girls, I didn't go to I went to birthday parties, but I didn't really go, to as many social gatherings as a normal 13-year-old would. Try out for this team when I'm 14. I get cut. And as you know, after this, with no purpose in my life, I've sacrificed basically my whole youth, not whole, but a part of it, for this team. What do I do? The next tryout's in a year from now. I can't be bothered waiting that long. No purpose, no meaning. I'm like, well, I can date this girl. I can date this girl to bring at least some oomph into my life. But I couldn't get myself to ask her out because I would just feel extremely guilty being with her and having nothing going on. I was comparing myself to people in their 30s being millionaires and shit. I have nothing going on in my life. So there's no point in even asking this girl out. I'm in this stage of my life and I have to find another avenue of purpose. I need another avenue of purpose. So I end up finding YouTube a couple of months later, and content creation and drop shipping, and you guys know the drill. I get into this and I start watching a lot of Spiritual So. You might know him, you might not. He was basically like, he's on the self-improvement spiritual side. He was you know, kind of the OG to the space before Hamza took over. So I started watching him a lot. And one of the main takeaways I took from his channel, whether he preached this message or not, this is just what I got from his channel, is that girls are a massive distraction, like massive. They were the number one thing that was going to hold me back from achieving my goals and living my dream life. So I'm still talking to this girl a little bit, not as much as I used to, but I've become really, really dry with her because I thought of girls as a massive distraction, which I don't agree with anymore. But this was my mindset at 15 years old. So I can't really remember when it is, but I know it's like a month or two into when I'm creating content. You know, I'm doing these workout videos at the time. And I tell her that I have to go because I have to go do a video. And I remember this message like it was yesterday, and I will never forget it because it really hurt me, bro. I don't even know if she was probably just joking, but I took everything personally. And she said something like, go and do your bummy workout thing. Go and edit your bummy workout video. I'm gonna have to go through the message. I haven't seen the message in years, but I remember it. Something like that. I know I had the word bum in it, and it really hurt me, bro. Because a part of the reason I was doing all of this, not the main reason, but a part of it, was for the girls, the attraction, you know? And seeing that really fucking hurt. Like, I'm gonna swear because it's a reflection of my passion, it really fucking hurt me, bro. Like, to the core. You know, it changed my whole perspective on women, like in a really, really bad way. So, I go 631 days on semen retention. Yeah, long time, nearly 2 years. Crazy. Because women are completely out of my life. It's just me and my goals. I'm not gonna say I regret that because I made a lot of progress in that time. But I had a very, very toxic mindset. I never talked to them. They were never really on my mind. The only thing that would be on my mind is what, you know, this girl called Bummy. But the reason why I acted like this towards women was because I always put them above me. They were always above me. They were always the prize. I'm not saying they're not. Right? I believe we're equal. You know, the man, you should be the prize, I should be the prize, the girl should be the prize as well. That's my mindset now. I've definitely changed. The fuck, is that a dragonfly? So instead of facing my fears and going up and talking to women and humanizing them and realizing they are just human, my porn addiction at the time had a lot to do with that, I turned to ignoring them completely. I would only talk to a girl if I was spoken to. That's it, at school, from the ages of 15 to 17. Would not speak to a girl. Probably 14 as well. The only girl I'd talk to was that girl I was, you know, attracted to. And the more I grew to realize that, shit, what I'm doing right now, making content, is not really attracting any women. It's not really doing anything for me. It's just helping me grow personally, which is amazing. But it wasn't getting me any more girls, bro. So when I really understood this, I started critiquing my own content to make it more attractive to girls. I wasn't trying to help people anymore. I was trying to get women attention, right? I started making more videos with me shirt off, because I saw on TikTok that girls were attracted to guys with their shirts off, like the pretty boys and shit. So I started trying to do that. It didn't work. And my whole personality changed. I didn't really like making content anymore because it wasn't for me. It wasn't for, you know, you guys, it was for girls at my school specifically. My whole world for a couple of months last year revolved around, if I even got any, validation I would get from women. So a very, very common thought this year, it was extremely, you know, prevalent at the start of this year. I was regretting the path I've gone down a lot, you know, with YouTube and everything. Of course. There's so many pros of doing this. I love what I do. But I could have been that guy who continued with basketball. I was the best basketball player in my school. And, you know, I guess girls are kind of attracted to that. You know, I could have continued to do this, continued to put the work in, maybe made the team a couple of years later. Would never have made the NBA, which is my ultimate goal. My genetics just don't allow me to do that. And I could have, you know, partied a lot, and I could have, you know, been the guy. right, in school, that everyone, you know, looks up to and shit. But I chose the path of more resistance. It's not really normal to post TikToks, motivational TikToks at that, and YouTube videos and shit. You know, it's normal to play basketball, especially in Australian culture. If you're not playing anything other than footy, basketball, and nowadays it's gym. If you do anything other than footy, AFL, basketball or gym, you are looked down upon, which is kind of shitty. But you understand why that's the case. You know, I've been thinking I could have lived my high school years a whole lot better. But I think that's just me overthinking way too much, because where would I be now if I did everything else for other people and not for me? And that's what I think about. You know, and and if you really think about it, I am so glad that I made the decision I did. And you know, because of this, from 15 to 18, I have been at the bottom of the social hierarchy, even though from year 7 to year 8, I was kind of at the top. Because of that, I've been chasing women. Not physically, not actually chasing them, but mentally chasing them, because I was putting them above me. And this played a massive toll on my relationships. I would ignore my parents in pursuit of attention from women. This affected my friendships. I would be someone else around a woman with my friends, and it just wasn't it, right? I'd be one of those bitches who put down one of maybe the friends who weren't as popular in the group to get, you know, attention from girls. I'd, you know, pick on him for, I don't know, maybe he was really skinny. Nothing crazy, but just very, very minimal things that I do regret about me past, just because I put so much value on a woman. Not to say that women are not valuable, definitely not. Women are amazing things, 100%. My mind has definitely changed. So yeah, it's not like you can change overnight. I'm definitely a different human now, I'm definitely grown, but it still comes in sometimes. You know, that part of me is still there. And I know that somebody out there, I can guarantee you, is out there with similar values to me, with the values of authenticity and respect. Yeah, brother, that's one lesson I've definitely learned from my youth. Don't chase a fucking girl. It's not worth it. Attractor. I was meant to end off on some really good quote, but I can't think of one. Much love, brother, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.